Our first assignment, the goal essay. This is a simple essay about you. The point of this exercise is to show you that you already know how to write an essay. It's also a quick review of writing an essay. It may have been a few years since you've written essays, or it might have been a long time, or it might have been last week, I don't know. But this is an exercise I do in class. The first thing we do that I normally do in a face-to-face class is we create as a class a sample goal essay. So there's a worksheet here, this goal sheet for this fictional student. So let's say we think about a college student, let's just pick any age. Let's say someone's about 26. So we fill this in. Responsibilities, what kind of possible responsibilities they might have. They might have a job, they might have kids, and then they have college. Okay, let's say this is a female student. Major goal in life is to be what? Let's see. At our particular school, a lot of students want to be a nurse. They're in the nursing program. So it would be 3 of the steps that someone who wants to be a nurse would need to do. First, they would need to get their AA in the Associate in Science. They need to get their AA. Let's just say that. I can't remember. Okay, at St. John's, at SJR State. If I go over here and just delete some. There we go. Okay, what is another thing they need to do? Well, to get that AA, they need to study hard and make A's and B's in for their GPA, correct? Delete some things here, some lines to get it to go up to. Okay. Something else they might need to do is they need to apply for the nursing program. Now, I'm not a nurse, so this was not my goal. My goal was to teach. So I don't know all the ins and outs of this. Okay, but so this is kind of our pre-writing that you're going to learn about as you do the readings this week. Next thing we need to do is we need to create a thesis statement. Now, this is a very bland, but thesis statements don't have to be exciting. They have to have the subject and the 3 points. Every thesis statement, as you'll learn throughout the course, needs a subject and the 3 points. If it's compare-contrast, it would have 2 subjects and the 3 points, but otherwise a subject, 3 points. So to reach my goal of becoming a nurse, I will need to do what? So we write this in. To reach my goal of becoming a nurse, I will need to study hard and make good grades. Finish my AA and apply to the nursing program. That makes sense. Right there, we have a thesis statement. Right there, we have this part, the to reach my goal, and then we put the goal in. So to reach my goal, becoming a nurse, right there. And then we have I will need to study hard. There's 1 of the points. Make good grades, 2nd point. And do I have? Oh, no, okay, sorry. I will need to study hard to make good grades is 1 point. Finish my AA, 2nd point, and apply to the nursing program. So we have our 3 points right there. All right, then we move on to the next page, and this is just a formula for the 5 paragraph essay. So first we always have an introductory paragraph, so we would need to think of some kind of quote or some kind of interesting hook. Let's see, we could do something like this. As a child, I always wanted to help my elderly neighbors when they were sick. Maybe that sounds kind of corny, maybe it's not true, but well, we want it to be true if you're writing it. Okay, and we would probably go an introductory before we have a thesis statement. So the introduction is usually 2 to 3 sentences, and then we have the thesis statement. The thesis statement is the last sentence of the first paragraph of each paragraph. So here we'd have, this is just one sentence here, we need like 2 to 3 more sentences, and then we would add our thesis statement, which is right here. So we would copy this, we'll see. And of course when we are writing a real essay, we're not going to put in these parenthetical or parentheses, right? So we'd have 3 sentences and then our thesis statement. Now this is a template. You'll have to put it together to make it look like a real essay. Okay, so the first point was, the first step of reaching my goal was study hard and make good grades. So the first step of reaching my goal is to study hard and make good grades. Alright, so that right here is our first topic sentence, and it matches our thesis statement. Whoops, here it is. So this matches our thesis statement. It matches one of the points in our thesis statement. Do we see that? Okay, but now we need to flesh this paragraph out. So this is study hard, make good grades, but how would you do that? So you would go into this paragraph, you would expound on that, go into further detail about this. So you would write that. Okay, next step. The next step to reach my goal, I would need to finish my AA. So we would put this here. Okay, period. And then we need to flesh this out. We would need to go into more detail about the steps involved in finishing your AA. There's more than just one, correct? So this could be, it might end up being a long paragraph. Okay, so but as you see, this topic sentence matches the thesis statement. It has those key terms in there. As I said, an essay doesn't have to be exciting. A thesis statement doesn't have to be exciting. An essay doesn't have to be exciting. What it has to be is logical and organized. As you practice, then maybe it'll become a little more exciting. Okay. The third step was apply to the nursing program. So, in addition to reach my goal of becoming a nurse, I will need to apply to the nursing program. Now, you would know the criteria for that. I would not if you were going to become a nurse, and so you would flesh this paragraph out, expound on it, go into more detail, etc. The prerequisites besides having an AA that you would need to apply to the nursing program, etc. All right, then the last paragraph of an essay is your conclusion. Now, unlike what they teach you in high school to summarize your essay and your conclusion, in real life that's not what we do. In real life, your conclusion should have a provoking thought, tie up loose ends, or provoke, or a call to action to the reader, or to yourself, especially if it's about yourself. That's what you want in conclusion. Provoking thought, type your loose ends, call to action to the reader, to yourself if the essay is about you. So you would write a paragraph like that. Okay, now the next step, so what you've learned here, you've learned how to, we just, made up a fictional student. You learned how to create a thesis statement. Thesis statement has what in it? It has the subject, which is your goal. The subject of this is your goal. And then the 3 steps needed to make that goal. So your goal, becoming a nurse, that's the subject. 3 points, study hard. Well, study hard and make good grades is 1 point, or just study hard would be fine. Finish the AA and the nursing, and apply to the nursing program. That's 3 points. Then we have the introductory paragraph with a hook. You know, you start out, you want to get people to want to read it. You'd have 2 or 3 sentences in your intro. Then the thesis statement, which is the last sentence in the first paragraph, which has that subject and those 3 points. Then each of those points would tie into one of the body paragraphs. So 3 points. 1, 2, wait, here we go. 1, 2, 3. So 3 paragraphs. So we have 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then the last one is the conclusion, tying up those loose ends or provoking thought. Okay, so what your assignment is for you to create your own goal essay. You do not have to turn in the template. You will be turning in an actual essay on the discussion board for your classmates to read. But I want you to do this pre-writing, which you will also learn about. But I want you to do this pre-writing where you sit and think about your major goal in life. Then think about the 3 steps you need to do to get to that goal. Then create your thesis statement like the example. And then I want you to write the essay. So go ahead and use the template though. You know, think of an introductory hook. You'll need a couple more sentences though. Add your thesis statement. Then work on your first topic sentence. And then think about what you need to write to finish off that paragraph. Second topic sentence. Then the details expounding on what you need for that one. Third topic sentence. And then the details needed to write the rest of that. And then a conclusion. So let me reiterate. Your assignment is to write a goal essay about yourself. We just did this one together. We collaborated. But now you're going to use the template to create your own goal essay, which is the pre-writing part. And then you're going to write your own essay, which you will turn in on the discussion board. Okay, enjoy this, because what I really believe is if you're in college, you need to have a goal. If you don't have a goal, you will not meet your goal because you don't have one. But if you don't have a goal, how will you know when you have been successful at something? You won't know that you've been successful and that have that pride in your accomplishments or that I can do it kind of thing because you never set a goal, so you didn't really know when you reached it. You need to set a goal so you can reach that goal. Sometimes on our process to reaching the goal, we have to change the goal because we realize this particular goal was maybe too lofty, or you weren't really interested in it, or maybe you found a new goal, and that's perfectly fine. But right now you enter college. Why are you here? Think about why you're here, because if you have a goal, then you're more likely to finish school than you would be if you don't have a goal. If you're just going to college for no reason, then you won't be successful. You have to have a reason. Okay, thank you, and get started.